Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Art Tipaldi, editor of Blues Music Magazine, an exciting new publication dealing with the blues in America and around the world. And you can check us out at bluesmusicmagazine.com for subscription information. Tonight we're here at Don Odells Legends with, there's a crop of blues musicians who make their way through the International Blues Competition down in Memphis, Tennessee, and come out winners or making it to the finals. And tonight we're here with the 2009 winner of that International Blues Challenge in Memphis, JP Soars. Right. JP, welcome to Don Odells Legends.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to talk to you. So let's see, you won the IBC in 2009. Yeah. You won the Albert King Most Promising Guitar Player. Yeah. You're now going on blues cruises. You're touring with Jimmy Thackeray. You've got your solo career, and you've got the Southern Hospitality group that you're part of with Damon Fowler and Victor Wainwright. Yeah. Wow. How has the IBC helped you move your career forward?
It helped me tremendously. I mean, until the IBC, I was basically a regional Florida artist, just playing Florida, and it was my goal to try and get outside of Florida and start spreading the music elsewhere. And the IBC certainly catapulted that to the next level for sure. Yeah. It opened a lot of doors and just introduced me to a lot of great people.
And we should mention that's the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, held every late January, early February. To get there, you don't just get in a car and go.
No.
What's the process like?
Well, you've got to, they have a local competition essentially, and you have to be sponsored by a blues society, and if you win your local competition, they basically send you up to Memphis.
Yeah.
They give you a little bit of money to help get you up there and stuff, and you get to go up there and see what you can do.
Yeah.
One of the great things is aside from winning the thing, is just even just going up there is meeting all the people that you can meet and getting introduced to all these folks. So it's a really neat thing. It can be beneficial even if you don't win. I've seen folks that haven't won it, and they've gotten some wonderful things out of it. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's again with almost 200 bands going. You have to go with the attitude of we're going to meet as many people as we can, and we'll just roll the dice and see what happens.
And that's essentially what I did the third time I went, which was the year that we won. The first time I went was in 2007, and I essentially went just backing up Dave Shelley and his band. I was just playing guitar, backing him up, and that was my first experience with it. We made it into the finals, and
wow,
I got to see Sean Carney win that year. So that was really cool, and so that was my first experience, and I went again in 2008, and then by 2009 I was just like, let's just go up there and meet folks and have a good time, and do what we do, and just enjoy ourselves, and that's kind of paid off for us.
Well, I mean, I've seen you there many times. I didn't realize you were there in a band as a backing musician, but that year you won, you were the last band to go up. And I remember watching you going, there are a couple of really good bands, and watching you going, oh my God, this guy is going all out. He wants that Albert King Guitar Award. And next thing I'm saying is, he wants the whole thing. What's it like to sit around all day and watch 9 or 10 other bands?
Well, that's another thing. I learned from the previous times of going myself. I'm the kind of guy that gets influenced real easily. So if I'm sitting there and I'm watching all the other bands, I might say to myself, well, man, they got a good response doing that. Maybe I better change this up or change that up. And it will influence me to do something differently. So I made it a point in 2009 to not do that, to not go watch the other bands, because not that I didn't want to see other bands, I just didn't want to get influenced.
Affected,
Right. I wanted to, go there with, okay, I'm going to do exactly what I do, what makes me feel good, what moves me, and then see what happens. So I sit around my hotel room all day long and just practiced.
It's funny because I've seen you, Grady Champion, last year Selwyn, all were the final act who came on and won. Took the thing, and yet you said, boy, some of those acts in the beginning were so good.
Absolutely.
What's there seems to be a really neat camaraderie between these recent IBC winning bands. You, Sean Carney, the Schneblin kids from Trampled Underfoot who've been here to Don's studio.
Yep.
You know, even Homemade Jams, Selwyn, Lionel Young from Colorado. Can you explain what?
Well, I think
what's going on?
I think one of the things is there's a commonality obviously in the music that we all love and we're trying to do, and we're trying to, you know, spread the word of it and stuff and kind of carry it on and things like that. So I think that's the first thing, is that common denominator of we all kind of love the same kind of music.
Right.
And I think it's just part of being in that IBC and then going on to win it. It's there's a certain, I don't know, it's just everybody's I think it's a mutual respect for one another as well. I think you know, I saw Sean Carney win, like I said, in 2007.
Oh,
so
that was great.
You know, I was just like, oh, this guy's great. And then when I went back up there, and you know, in 2009 and won, we introduced myself and we became friends. And then I met the Schneblins later on, you know, down the road via Sean Carney, which is also where I met Jimmy Thackeray.
That's true
at the Blues for a Cure thing. So I think it's just a common thread of you know, and stuff, and everybody's real humble. You know, everyone just respects each other. And
I mean, in that whole batch too, I just thought there's Zach Harmon, John Richardson. Do you guys feel like in some way you're there to carry the torch as IBC winners?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely trying. You know, it's like. When we won, like, we felt, okay, we've got this responsibility, you know, to the Blues Foundation and these people that put us here, and we got to go out and do our best and make them proud of what, you know, what they've given us this opportunity.
That's right, that's what's very impressive to me as a fan, as a writer, as a member of the Blues Foundation, is to see the way that all of these bands who have won or even been in the finals of the IBC, to see the way that they have carried the genre forward, and to me that spells an exciting time for the blues. That there's life in it. What was JP Soars' musical life like before the IBC? I read someplace you were playing in heavy metal bands.
Well, I was. I mean, I had quit by then. The last thing I did was a tour in 2005 with this metal band I played in. Yeah. And but during the same time, I mean, you know, when I was doing that, folks ask me sometimes, like, you know, when did you make this transition from playing this to playing this? Yeah. Well, it never was like an overnight thing. It wasn't one day I decided, well, I'm going to do this and not this anymore. I basically have loved the blues for a long time. I met B.B. King when I was 18 years old. Wow. And got to see him play and met him backstage, and you know, he signed this guitar that I'd won. It was all part of this deal. I won a guitar in a raffle and stuff. And from that point on, it really interested me in the blues, and like my dad, you know, told me after we went to this, you know, you need to learn to play the blues, you know, and I knew at that point, that's timeless music, and that's the root of where all this other stuff is coming from, and I want to learn it, and I'm still trying to learn it, but that was the catalyst that got me really, really interested in it. So the whole time I was playing in these metal bands and stuff, touring and traveling around, I was also trying to learn the blues. I was listening to it. I was, you know, stop at a convenience store on the road or whatever, or gas station, and they had the little tapes, you know, back then they had the cassette tapes and stuff, and you know, I'd say, oh, you know, I read an article, B.B. King talking about this T-Bone Walker, I'm going to grab this, it's $5.99, I'll grab it, put it on, and just, wow, opens up a whole nother thing. That's right. Same with Muddy Waters. When I first heard Muddy Waters, I got the Real Folk Blues album, and that just totally, I was like, wow, and then I started hearing where all these other guys are getting the stuff, you know, like ZZ Top and you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan and stuff. I started hearing, wow, this is where they got the idea for She Loves My Automobile. That's where that's coming from. So I just, you know, kept tracing it back, and I would go to open jams and things like that, and watch people and try and learn from them. And if I found somebody that was good, I would latch on to them and try and learn everything I could from them. Right. And I just kept doing that, and then back in '96, I started my own little blues band and stuff, and I was still playing in the metal bands and stuff. So I mean, I would, you know, I'd go do a rehearsal with the metal band, and then I'd go do a blues gig. Wow. Or I'd go out on the road with the metal band, and then 2 nights after I got home, I'd be playing a blues gig or a jam or something. So I was kind of doing all this stuff at the same time, and then in 2005 is when I you know, I decided, well, I want to focus 100% into this, you know, into learning the blues and stuff, and also other kind of music. I've always considered, you know, myself a musician first, above any sort of genre dictating things. You know, to me, someone says, "Are you a blues musician or a metal musician or this or that?" Well, I'm a musician. I love all kind of music, and if something interests me, I want to learn about it. I want to know about it.